Well, hello, riders. Lucas coming at you regarding Ukraine. An explanation of why I only have part one on YouTube. And I've had it up there for a while and nothing else up there yet. And that is because Russian troops got closer to Kyiv. And when they got closer to Kyiv, what we did is we kind of changed our strategy. As a journalist, I have to be careful of not filming soldiers, in positions that can compromise their strategy. And, Russians could watch my films and, the Russian troops could take advantage. That's the last thing that I would want to have happen. So that's why only part one is up. And that's why actually we took down part two. We did have part two up there for a little bit, but we did indeed take it down because, as I said, there were some sensitive areas, some footage that we got in there of roadblocks and some strategic points and things like that. So as a journalist and, recording the truth about Ukraine and showing the world, in doing so, as I said, I don't want to hurt her by doing something stupid and giving away positions. So we had a part two up there briefly. No real strategic positions in that, but there was some footage in that we were concerned about. And in this case, not really anywhere else in my life, but in this case, I will say, better safe than sorry. Take that footage down. So anyway, how are things doing over there, by the way? Well, let me tell you this. This is a map of what Ukraine looked like when I first got there. So as you can see, the Russians were really closing in on Kyiv. They really wanted Kyiv, but they just couldn't have it. So they were receding when I left. And that was a really good feeling, just to know that maybe I helped this just a little bit, to be part of this. So really good feeling, to be part of such a movement and to see the unity in all of these countries that are helping. I mean, I've seen packages and deliveries and, shipments from all over the world come in when I was in Ukraine. It is the coolest feeling to see that. Now this is what the war map looks like today. So as you can see, there is more concentration down in the southeast of Ukraine. So Russia literally is trying to build a land bridge between Russia and Crimea. And, really anything that's in the way of that is getting destroyed. I mean, what they want to do is they just want to take as much as they can, and they want to use that as leverage for bargaining, and they don't care, how much they destroy. And they're committing genocide, and they've been raping, and they've been, killing women and children and things like that. So, I guess what I have to say at this point, honestly, is, Putin, I mean, you've pissed off some powerful people here in the United States and abroad, too. You've really made some very scary people angry. When I was in Ukraine, the feeling of riding there was surreal because the roads were just empty. I mean, if you like empty roads, I don't, but in that case I do, it is safer, then Ukraine is the place for you to ride. But let me tell you this, right now, from me to you on this video, maybe, just maybe, we have Cycle Messenger World Championships, the CMWC, there in Ukraine when all of this is done and we've won. Because let me tell you, that'd be an awesome place to have that. The Messenger World Championships is a series of championships that test the messenger's aptitude for, delivering packages, simulated courier routes and things like that, and cargo race and all these tricks and alley cats and everything else. And it's hundreds of messengers from around the world that come and descend upon a city and bring it to life with the most awesome celebration. I mean, Cycle Messenger World Championships, I've posted videos about them in the past. Our culture is still alive. It really is. I visited the Space Hedgehog headquarters when I was in Ukraine, and there's a bunch of riders there, that would love to get a part of this and be a part of this. So anyways, you heard it here. So as far as riding on the streets of Ukraine, yeah, back to that. Well, I'll tell you, it is kind of crazy because you've got no response as far as accident cleanup. I mean, when cars crash there, they're just left. I mean, there's wrecks there that they don't come to get. I mean, who's going to get them? Ambulance service, it's hit or miss. The ambulances might be up in Irpin, or they might be, some other suburb somewhere else, treating people. It's not as bad as I mentioned to you earlier in this video in Ukraine as it was. I mean, it was horrible. And you saw on world television, on these big news channels, the devastation, the genocide, the killing of women and of children and of dozens of bodies of people that were innocent, not even involved in the war at all, just trying to make a living. Anyways, they're buried now, but things are still going on in the southeast because of the fact that, yes, Russia is trying to build a land bridge from Russia to Crimea, and in doing so, they're basically going to, as I said, destroy everything in their path to try and do that and try and use it as a bargaining chip. But mark my words, Ukraine, she will be asking for reparations and getting reparations from Russia for the damage that has been done. So, one thing that people need to realize about this war is that if Ukraine were to fall, you would have China invading Taiwan. You would have Putin, who wants to be remembered as Vlad the Great, and who has said years ago that he considers all the Baltic states part of Russia, taking over those states and taking over everything else that he possibly can. It's very significant that Ukraine does not fall. And yeah, we're paying a lot of tax dollars over there, but I'm going to tell you right now, not just because I have family there, because my mom's Ukrainian, or, I go there. Just, let me tell you, basic physics here and, economics. I mean, you will have a hell of a different world in terms of freedoms and basic freedoms of speech and things that we enjoy now in the United States. We will be affected if this falls, if Ukraine falls, because Ukraine is literally the linchpin of the world right now and of freedom versus all the killings that are going on and the censorship and the dictatorship that Putin has in Russia. I know that Ukraine's not perfect, and I know that there's a lot of stuff that's going on, but what Russia is doing to Ukraine, to its people, there is no excuse. And, maybe this video today with you is also a call to action for you Russians to stand up to this dictator. And that's what it would take. If you did, then that would effectively end this. I mean, there is power in unity. There's power in the bike community. There's power in the artist communities. There's power in all these communities to come together, to rise up against him, and to not tolerate what the heck Putin is doing, and the fact that he's censoring the news over there so darn much. Ukraine wanted Belarus to do the same thing Ukraine did, which is overthrow the government back in 2014. Today, because of that overthrow that the Ukrainians did against the government fears the citizens in Ukraine, not the citizens fearing the government. We wanted Belarus to follow the same path. They didn't. But if Russia stands up, that would be great. The Russian operation in Ukraine has really been a disaster. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's their biggest military operation they've done since World War II. But riding there, I saw bombed out Russian trucks that attempted to get into Kyiv on the side of the road in random places. To see that, that's a very bad sign of troop movement and of coordination with the generals and with the COs and the people, that are in charge. So, and, we've heard that with radio, open channel conversations, and, Russians taking their cell phones into, war, and into the foxholes, and people, knowing where they are because of this doggone cell phone. So it's really been quite something. But we are making big progress. And, we did repel Russia from Kyiv, and we are going to win in the southeast as well. So, efforts are showing. So all the contributions that you guys have made is amazing. So the rides that I've been on for fundraisers, and the things that I have given people to bring over to Ukraine, and the stuff that's been, donated through me to help people that I know directly dealing with defense and the military in Ukraine. I am emphasizing more donors in the military now, to the military, because, we have a lot of humanitarian aid to Ukraine. I could see that when I was there. But if people get killed, then all the bread and the flour and the, things, that the soap and everything, supplies and the water in the world is not going to help for people that are, 6 feet under. So Ukraine is a beautiful place, and we are taking her back. By the way, this hoodie, this is a Miami theme map hoodie. Anyways, this is something that selling on my website, and the link is below. So I donate 20% of the proceeds of this hoodie, sales from this, to Ukraine. So know that you're helping Ukraine, support it, with this. And I will continue to help with every fiber of my body. And I am doing a lot over here to help. And I know a lot of other people who are. So, but Vlad, you you really pissed off some powerful and scary people over here. So, and in a lot of other countries too. The unity has been amazing. It's brought people together that I actually never thought would be, brought together again. And it's opened new ties for me. It's rekindled old friendships and connections that I never really thought I would talk to again. So, but that's what, tough times do. So Ukraine likes its freedom, and it's setting a very bad example for Russia, because Putin doesn't want Russians to have their freedom. So please, Russians, rise up against Putin, and the dictatorship. I mean, for God's sakes, they put all their money into yachts and into Gucci bags and into fancy shoes and into Bugattis and mansions and everything else, and not into the military. So in conclusion, what I wanted to tell you was the reason why you've seen part 1 for Ukraine and nothing else up there. Yes, we did have part 2 up there for a little bit. We had to take it down because of the fact that we believe that it could possibly compromise defense of that great country. And so that is the last thing I'd want to do. Anyway, footage on other things that I've seen there, some of the stuff, it is kind of graphic. Anyways, it will come in due time. And, we will be posting it when we are good and ready. And it'll probably be a while because of the fact that the situation there and the information is sensitive. But we're going to win. So that's about it. And thank you guys again. And live fast, ride fast, and die last.